Biddy boom. Good chair bar. Hi everybody, how are you? Happy Monday. That's what it sounds like. We have new speakers, everybody. Put your hands together for new speakers. Yes. Even up to some reason I feel like I'm more quiet than I've ever been. Is that under control or something? Is that just coming from here? You guys hear me okay? Yeah. Alright, cool. Hi everybody, happy Monday to you. Welcome to almost episode 100 of Kill Tony. We're flying through them. Hi everybody, welcome. You guys ready for a crazy night tonight or what? We have brand new speakers, everybody. About a month and a half ago, we did a benefit to get new speakers in the belly room because we were running off of an AM radio before. And we made a good amount of money. The Comedy Store, the best comedy club in the world, was nice enough to match the money that we made.
Yes.
There is an elite fucking sound system here. So amazing that it's just fucking on top of me, and I'm finding it immediately annoying.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's right on top of our heads.
I can't imagine what it actually sounds like. Jake, does it sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, great. Put your hands together for Jake, everybody. We have a crazy show for you tonight. Two of my favorite guests that I've ever had on the show, even though we always have fun every week here. These guys are monsters. So, oh yeah, by the way, a big thank you to the people around the world that bought tickets to that main room benefit show that didn't even come. They just bought it to donate to the speakers.
Yeah.
Wanted to give you listeners a crazy fucking shout out because you must be maniacs if you did that.
Yeah, there's 23 people that bought tickets that didn't show up just to help support
Amazing.
the sound system.
Amazing.
And what's weird is I actually did a show in Vegas that had a horrible sound system, and my whole show I had to scream my set. And it's so funny how timing is so important. And having a good set to have a good show, because no one could hear me. It was in a huge casino, so I'm like going, hey, yeah, the whole set.
I was in a theater in Sweden doing 2 shows with Joe Rogan, and the sound was amazing.
I'm sure.
I cannot relate to you whatsoever. Our gourmet chef cooked us meals tonight, everybody. Elise Lane is over there, our only sponsor of this show. Elise Lane is a gourmet chef that cooks a meal for us and the guests every single week. It's unbelievable. Tonight she made sweet and spicy chicken breasts with pineapple, bell pepper, red onions, peanuts, and basmati rice. Oh, God, it smells so good. Totally in the mood to smell a meal right now. Elise Lane is at Elise Lane on Twitter, and at the girl with the pan, Russell Peters just hired her a few weeks ago to be his full-time executive chef. Put your hands together for Elise Lane. Every single week, Brian, that we've done this, we have a head of security.
Yes.
I'm really, really excited to bring this guy up. It used to be the Iron Patriot. For those of you that don't know, there was a guy in a $5,000 Iron Man, but different American Iron Man suit. And he had this crazy $5,000 costume. He said, let me be part of your show. I'd love to be part of it. I said, with an outfit like that, how can I resist? So we used to let him stand right over there on the side of the show. About episode 30 or 40, he started getting, really popular on Twitter and found this newfound, very youthful yet promising growth in his popularity.
And he used to tell us a lot of crazy shit, like dogs licking things off of him.
Yeah, and he was a racist. It was fun to have him on. Like, we would talk to him. We had a great banter with him because it's this guy in a suit, so I could make fun of him as hard as I possibly could without hurting the audience's feelings. Anyway, by about episode 30 or 40, he literally said that he got too big for the show, that he's the driving force in the show, and that when it gets picked up by a major network, he'd be willing to negotiate to come back. That's true. He said that he was irreplaceable. So every single week since he left us, we've replaced him with a brand new Iron Patriot each week in a $30 Amazon Prime suit. Ladies and gentlemen, this Patriot, it's his second time. He's an employee here at the Comedy Store, one of the promising young talents here. And this is his second time being the Patriot. Put your hands together for Jerron Horton. Never run out of Patriots here on Kill Tony. There he is. He's very mellow and comfortable. How you doing, Patriot?
Good, how you doing?
Good. You're one of the only Patriots that I think would make a great wide receiver. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm way too good at flag football.
Fuck yeah. I bet you are. Last time you were our Patriot, we found out that you don't like Asians very much.
Like I said before, I don't think they're discriminated against enough. And,
Yeah. Equal racism for everyone.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, thanks for being with us. You excited about tonight's show?
Of course, I'm excited to meet the guests.
It's going to be crazy. Over 40 comedians, all slammed in the very back of this diabolical room, signed up for the opportunity to do 1 minute on stage and talk to our guests. So let's bring up our guests. Tonight, two of my great pals, two guys who I've worked with many times, two great friends, and two of the best comedians in the world. Put your hands together for Joe Rogan and Al Madrigal, everybody. Al Madrigal and Joe Rogan. Holy shit!
That's good. We just happened to walk upstairs at that moment.
Oh,
It
perfect.
worked out. Perfect time.
Comedy gods are looking out for us tonight. There's some intro music for you if you heard it right there for a second. How's it going? Joe, you've done the show before.
Yes, I have, Tony.
It's great to have you back. Al, this is your first time.
This is my first time. And are people regulars? Have you guys seen this before?
Yes, I know, and those are comedians up there.
Oh, those are
Some of them are comedians.
How's it going, guys?
Behind those guys. And this is the Iron Patriot.
Yes.
He,
Very
keeps
familiar.
us safe. Make sure nothing ever goes crazy, even though nothing ever has. But every week, our Patriot has a question for our guests. So, Patriot, go ahead.
First question is for Joe. Like you all know, I do park cars at the Comedy Store. And my question for Joe is, when are you going to let me drive the Porsche?
That's not gonna happen. I don't know how good you drive. That's not a car. That's a mess. That car.
It's dope, though.
It's not. It shouldn't be legal. Shouldn't be able to just drive one of those things.
I have a critique about you as a law guy, by the way. You're one of those guys that when you get in the car, you adjust the seat and then you don't move it back afterwards.
It is
You're
very
tall.
true. You do not fucking adjust.
So what, man? They just parking cars.
Yeah, when I get in the car at the end of a long night, fucking already nursing the hangover from that night, I get in my car and I just end up flopping down like it's a bed. Fuck yeah. What's your question for Al?
Al, huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what is it like to have your own Pandora station?
I didn't know I had my own station, so completely unaware of the fact. But it's so funny that the Iron Patriot says that he's a huge fan because Tony knows the story of what happened when I haven't been to the Comedy Store in about 3.5 years. I was commuting back and forth to New York, and when I first pulled in the lot. Do you want to explain this story? Maybe
I'll explain it.
How's sound coming from your dick?
Yeah, man, this is how it works.
Oh, that's a
Whoa.
that's a
Yikes.
powerful dick. Dick causes feedback.
It was a very humbling experience coming back to the Comedy Store, and it's tough. I saw, who was the guy? Was it Little G that came back here? That was a drunk sort of African American comic who came back here and flipped out because when you're here for a long period of time, and then a door guy doesn't recognize you, you feel like shit. You're like, no, I'm a comedian,
Right.
and you made me sort of do that. And
Yeah, Jerron was working a lot in the back lot, and Al was here to do a benefit in the main room, and Al, it was Al's first time here in years, and Al went to the parking lot, and he said to Jerron just casually, you know, usually young comics who end up working hard enough to even get a job here, which is so hard to do, they know a lot about comedians and comedy at that point. Like, it's sort of like a Navy SEAL of being a young comic. Like, I remember before ever seeing you, Al, like, there's like, for good comics, there's like warnings. Like, hey, there's this guy coming in tonight, you know, he used to open up for Kinnison, or there's this guy from Babidi, you know, like, you hear these different
And
things.
I'm a notorious, like, when I was here on a regular basis,
Right.
such a fucking asshole, too. I remember getting an intro from Eliza Schlesinger, who said, she goes, you guys see this ex guy on Letterman? Never been on Letterman. And you've seen him on Comedy Central. And then I shook her hand walking up stage, and she goes, hope you've been on Comedy Central. And I went, fuck you. And I started yelling at her from stage. I go, I know what every fucking guy on that list has done. I'm not friends with every single one of them, but just out of respect, I know who everybody is and what they've fucking done. And I go, fuck you, hope you've been on Comedy Central. Fuck, learn your shit. It's fucking. I'm a crazy person.
So
What was wrong with you back then?
I know. I'm like, what's wrong with me now? Like, how much has changed? So
Well, when I met you, you weren't like that. You were pretty mellow.
no, I think so. Yeah,
Did
but
you
I
get
have.
more intense as like your career picked up?
No. I used to, I've had that job where I used to fire people for a living. Like, I was always, ready to go
Really?
any moment. Yeah. Never been in a fight in my entire life. Because always ready to fucking kill somebody. I really feel it. But I was really cool, right?
Yeah, no, he was cool.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. Like, I said, hey, I guess I'm going to be coming back because I talked
Right, you
to...
casually said to Jerron, well, he's like leaning against his car, he's looking at the Comedy Store and it's bumping, and he just had fun in the main room, so he goes, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna start coming back here. And Jerron, not knowing who Al Madrigal was, in a classic blunder, goes, oh, what did you used to do comedy here or something? Talking about like this,
And I just said, yeah.
Al and I did the original Cops, the old school Cops. It only said like 120 people.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was very tiny, and
What kind of seat? It was
it
so
was,
small.
it was a 200-seater, but underground, like all great kind of like the Denver Comedy Works, and
200 seats?
200 seats. He would just pack them all in.
But that was totally illegal, right?
Oh,
there was
sure,
like a
yeah,
fire
yeah.
thing on the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
It was like 98 seats or something.
It's people on top of
It
people.
was not much bigger than this room. It was
we
really
don't believe in fire hazards here at Kill Tony, as you can see, by this quiet yet packed crowd. But anyway, let's get...
It was totally different from the new one. The new
Right.
one being like 450.
Yeah,
It was a much smaller type of place.
that Cobb's is shockingly big in San
The
Francisco.
old one was the shit, man. It was so good. It was the best room in San Francisco.
Small room underground.
Yeah.
Always sort of works. DC Improv.
Guys would
Comedy
make
Works.
less money to work there because it was so good. They would forego a larger place.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You guys love comedy. We love talking about it with you guys. So let's do something crazy and watch comedians do time and then talk to them and each other.
All right. Sounds good.
So let's get it started, guys. Over 40 comedians signed up for the chance to do a minute tonight. You guys ready to get this thing started or what? Comedians, you get one coming up to minute. You know that your minute is up when you hear the sound of a kitty. Aw, that's adorable. That means wrap up your time right then, because that's your minute, or else you're going to bring out the angry West Hollywood bear. Oh, yeah, don't make that happen. So do your time and get out. Audience, you guys excited?
Yeah!
There we go. Your first comedian doing a minute tonight. This looks like a new name. Put your hands together for Horace Ra. Oh, shit. I don't see Horace Ra, which means that he missed it. That's right. Horace Ra, everybody.
Well, what's up? I got a minute? When does it start now?
10 minutes ago. 10 seconds ago.
Oh, man. I guess I'll talk about my favorite subject. I got a minute. I'll talk about some pussy. Why in the world would every guy lie about the first time they get some pussy? They always talk about, oh, I did it. It was all night long. But the first time I got some pussy, some good pussy, oh, it's going to last about 10, maybe 15 seconds. And then, it went something like this. She says, what are you doing? Are you having a seizure? I said, is that what I'm doing? I've never done this before. And it only lasts about 10 seconds. That's it. And then, how much more time I got?
Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, you have 12 more seconds.
Well, let me see what else can I say. Hey, that's why I was a firefighter too. Because I could save pussy. That's why. And firefighters do get a lot of pussy.
Wow, you brought up a horse, and that's rare. Normally it's a cat, but the barnyard doors broke open.
That was great because a cat is a pussy.
All right, Horace. Who signed you up for this show tonight? Did you do it? Like you had no idea what you were walking into?
I had no idea. I've never done this before. Never did it before.
Have you ever done stand-up before? You have?
Yeah, but you know what I do? I tell stories a lot.
Sure.
You can't
No,
tell
a minute
a
is
story.
tough. This is horrible. I remember the first time going to the San Francisco Punchline. I waited in the back of the room for 9 months, and the guy said, brought 3 of us to the side and said, You guys can each do 2 minutes, and I grabbed the two guys and I looked at them and I said, no, we'll wait more. Because 1 minute, 2 minutes, this is fucking horrible. I'm sorry, buddy. And I'm sure you're a fucking storyteller, and I'm sure they're great, but this is, oh my God. I can't see how any of you would subject yourselves to this. Fucking shit. You're a storyteller, so you had no business fucking signing up for this thing. You didn't do shit in a minute.
Well, you could practice a tag if you wanted to.
I don't understand why you would do this and what the fuck you were thinking in putting my name on the fucking list.
What made you sign up?
Yeah.
Did you sign up for the open mic downstairs?
Yes, I signed up for the open mic.
And then somebody else said, hey man, you could also put your name in a hat. It's not going to go well.
Did you sign up?
It doesn't always go this bad.
How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
Year and a half.
Okay. And how old are you?
48.
That's fucking rough right there. I started late at 28, and that's fucking brutal. But good for you for fucking trying it. I mean, this is tough because I hate being negative about anybody trying to do anything. Obviously, big round of applause for this fucking guy.
I can immediately tell how you haven't seen the show before.
I have not seen the show. It's going to be hard for me to shit on any of you. But if I were going to shit on somebody, it would just be you for fucking even trying to. Right, there you go. There you go. If you want me to be mean to people, I have no problem.
You don't have to be mean.
No, I'll just be honest. And
Horace, what do you do for work?
Well, I was a firefighter. Got injured on the job, so I'm not a firefighter anymore.
That's depressing.
yeah. Where are you a fucking firefighter?
In Adelanto, California.
What?
High desert.
Oh, wow.
About by Victorville.
What was the nature of your injury?
Well, I got a smoke inhalation and a big, I guess it was a bowel of hay, fell down on me. And so,
Was the smoke
And what
inhalation after a bong rip?
What happened to you when you got hit by this bill?
well, I fell down. They had to drag me out.
Well, but you look fine. You're like walking around and everything.
Oh, yeah, I look great now. They couldn't hold me down. They couldn't keep me down.
I understand.
How long is your shortest story?
Don't you
3
do
minutes because
No, I'm not.
3 minutes because that's the that's how much time they take you on the open mic.
What's that story about?
Yes, I was just.
Man, I have a million of them. A million.
You have a million?
No.
Hey, I got a
What's
story
the short one about?
The shortest one. When I went to jail. That's the shortest one.
Wow.
One time?
Was it the time that they sent you to jail after filing a fake claim for injury?
Because I was gonna say the same thing, but because like I think it was a bale of hay, something fucking hits you in the back that fucking takes you off the fucking out of the fire department. You know exactly what it is. So I'm questioning the whole fucking thing.
Well, it was a warehouse fire, so it had
What kind of injury did you get?
Yeah.
What kind of injury did you get?
It was just smoking. Smoking the lady.
Yeah, but the
I
thing
hurt
that
my
hit your
neck,
back. What did they say? Was it a bulging disc? Was it herniated?
Nah, it wasn't nothing. It was this. My back was
It's a lump,
real.
How long did it hurt for? A couple hours?
No, but
I feel like we're on a TV
maybe
show.
Like maybe a couple months.
I feel like we're on like a
Wasn't so-
cop show and you're doing poorly. we're on one of those shows and I'm going, son, you know what you did. You're about to give in. You're about to give in. You're about to. Wow, I would have got away from it. It wasn't you fucking meddling kids.
No, I couldn't do this, man. They drugged me out.
Come on, son, your back is fine.
It's fine now, yeah.
Well, you don't even know what was wrong with it.
When did it
You know when people hurt their back, like that's like a serious thing. Like people tell you L4, L5. I had my disc fused.
Oh no, I have
Artificial
to,
di-
no,
well,
I have
no.
to have any of that.
People have like shit that punctures or their herniated disc pushes into their nerves. Their feet go numb. Did you have any of that shit?
Nah.
What kind of fucking injury do you have, man?
Well,
You're bullshitting. 100%.
I bet that American hero, I'm a firefighter that got injured on the job thing works pretty well though. Was it pre 9/11 or post 9/11 that you started telling people this?
What's that? That was pre 9/11, and I still got pussy after that.
How dare you?
You please stop saying pussy. I don't think that is a general rule for you. Maybe that's your New Year's resolution to stop saying the word fucking pussy. And then see how you really do after that. Just eliminate pussy from your vocabulary. I never say it. Things are going great.
And you have to mean it when you say it. It's like any other word. If it's the right word for what you mean, then it's fine. But it seems like because you're uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, anything controversial comes out extra weird because you're worried about people judging you already, and so then you're uncomfortable, you're nervous, so you start guessing yourself. Like maybe I do sound like a douchebag when I say pussy. And you say it like I love pussy. You're like,
let me ask you
as
something.
it's coming out, you feel it, right? Did you feel that when you're on stage? Like when it wasn't working, right? You know that feeling where you're like, fuck, they don't like me. Right?
I think Horace
you feel that at all?
I think Horace is immune to that feeling.
I know that's what got broken when that fucking thing hit your back.
No, I can see you being a likable guy. I can say the general note that I have for everybody and every stand-up comic is to really, really be your fucking self. I hated the comics that are up there doing fucking characters and being insincere. Like, I can't fucking stand them. Like, I can't listen to anything they're talking about. I really don't.
I've seen a new level of anger.
I love it.
I'm so mad today.
No, I really don't like it. Just be yourself. Tell the fucking, and that's why there's holes in your fucking firefighter shit. Who's next?
Where do you go up? I mean, you say you only do stories. So where gives you like 15 minutes to do stories at? Do you get up anywhere?
I've been to a few places, but smaller venues.
What are the
I've got
names?
10 minutes.
Marty's.
I can tell a whole story. One was like the Michelle Hope Walker show.
How many stories do you think you could get in 10 minutes if you tried to go as fast as you can? Just out of curiosity. My goal is for him to say 10 so that he realized that he could have told a story in a minute.
Maybe 3, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Horace, one final question. Since under Al's advice, he doesn't want you saying pussy like you did, what would be your backup word for pussy? What would be the second word that you think you'd go to for that?
Kitty.
Kitty.
And with that, Horace, I'm going to send you off. It was nice meeting you. Horace Rock. Thank you for being here 1 minute. This is normally the part where I name out the comedian's Twitter to promote them for the listeners that listen to the show. But Horace wrote down his Gmail account, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not sure Horace knows what Twitter is exactly. I use Angel Fire. That's good enough for me.
It's a tough fucking gig, man. I was right.
Tough. 1 minute.
You would be amazed how many people come up here and crush. It'll happen at some point. You guys will be shocked. Put your hands together for Jacob Grodnick.
A lot of grinding going on at the clubs. You guys notice this? A lot of grinding. A lot of people trying to go out there, find someone to rub up on. Not a fan of grinding. I like when grinding's happening to me, but the main reason I do not like grinding is because it is impossible to enact the grind without being creepy. It's impossible, it can't be done, right? Because, you think about it, and, you used to actually ask girls to dance, right? You go up to them and be like, hey, would you like to dance? And maybe they say yes, but now you kind of just time your assault, right? The girl's kind of dancing in her own world, and you got to kind of just, pinpoint her out, like, okay, and don't freak out! Plus, you need a half chub in order to grind correctly. You can't go in there unarmed, backing up on you, not feeling anything, thinking you're a eunuch. That's not a path to go down. You can't go in there guns a-blazing, right? You're not trying to knight the girl in front of you. You need the half chub, because if you think about it, it's the Goldilocks of the penis sizes, right?
Yikes. Okie dokie. Take a drive, everybody. Check it out. Jacob, so this is your first time on the show.
Yeah.
You gotta speak into the microphone.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, first time.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
I haven't done stand-up in over a year.
You haven't done it in a year, but how long? What did
Before
you,
then?
Yeah, sure.
Off and on for maybe like a year in college.
Off and on is something no one should ever say.
Yeah.
Kind of fucking. But welcome back.
Thank you.
Kindly.
I'm guessing in between, by the looks of you, you were
Went to
telling
Miami.
these stories at a tiki bar.
Got into the import-export business.
Opening up for Jimmy Buffett, perhaps.
Exactly.
What do you do for work?
Right now I'm a bellman.
A bellman.
Yeah.
They still
Not a
have those?
bellboy, bellman.
Wow.
The difference.
There's a pretty big difference.
Oh, whoa. No, he gave the classic scared as fuck squeak before that. There's a difference.
Educate you about the two.
What's the difference?
There is no difference.
The age?
The age?
Yeah.
No, there's no difference.
There's no difference.
So that's like,
Why did you say that?
To be funny.
Nice try.
Trying up here.
Were you once a bellboy? Did you grow into
No,
it?
I didn't even know.
Is that the only job you've had?
In the bell service, yes.
Wow. So this is at a hotel?
This is at a hotel.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Can we say the hotel? What hotel?
Yeah, Hotel Angelino.
Is that nice?
No.
A lot of people are saying no to that, right?
What?
So like, a lot of people carrying their own bags is what I'm.
It's all mostly foreign people that come stay there because they see on some website that it's like nice, but it sucks. Like every room faces the freeway, and like you take people to the room and they're like, "You have any rooms that don't face the freeway?" And they're like,
Nah.
No.
Surrounded by freeways.
"Yeah."
Wow. What's the craziest thing you've seen on the night working at the Angelino?
Craziest thing.
By the hookers?
I mean, like, I've seen the movie Four Rooms, which I love, with Tim
Oh,
Roth.
nice. Yeah,
And
that's
it's a
sweet.
great
Yeah.
story about a bellboy getting his first night on the job, New York hotel, New
Yeah.
Year's Eve. It's fucking great. At least, actually, the last two rooms are great that are directed by Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino. The first two, you sort of have to just watch it for Tim Roth. But anyway, what's the craziest
what
thing
have you
you've seen?
I saw a dad that pulled up in this like maroon van, and he got out and he like shoved this kid to the ground and then kind of like hit him.
How old was the kid?
Kid was like 11.
Jesus.
When you say he kind of like hit him, what does
Yeah.
that mean exactly?
Like when he got up and like, smacked him on the head and kept shoving him.
And then when you jumped in, what happened?
I kind of retreated back into the van. I didn't ask to get
Didn't do anything, didn't at least try to throw a Hawaiian shirt in the middle of it.
Distracted with your
Specifically that Hawaiian shirt that you should throw anywhere but on yourself. How long have you had that shirt for?
About a week.
What? Shit. You gotta be kidding me. That was a current conscious decision? That's like a fucking tattoo decision. I mean, like, I'm guessing
Any other
it's after
comics,
2 in
by the way,
morning,
wearing
right?
Hawaiian shirts? Are there any other Hawaiian
Oh.
shirt wearing comics? Out of the 40 comics, or is anyone else rocking a Hawaiian shirt?
I got it. A tourist left that, and you got it from the awesome fact.
That's a good way to say it, yeah.
No offense at all, but sometimes when I see other comics that dress like this, I was like, fucking really? Is this what I'm doing? No deal. If I ever see... Oh, this is horrible.
Where'd you get the shirt from?
Food store.
Yeah.
I was shooting a little funny videos with my friends, and it was part of the character along with the bleached hair.
Oh, you did most
See
of
it.
that for the video? Let's
Yeah.
see the hair.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Holy
That's
shit.
your actual hair?
Yeah.
Oh,
Needs
you
to tone
poor
down.
fucking
I mean,
thing.
again, I say you look like it could be funny. You should really try to stick around and come out every single night. I don't know what can I give sincere advice?
Absolutely.
Just keep going. Like, I was talking to these guys. These guys are in fucking Sweden, and they're out here tonight. Like, I mean, again, you know, I worked all day fucking long, and I'm here. Like, what's going to separate you from everybody else is not doing this fucking off and on. You got to be sincerely dedicate your life to this shit, and then fucking 10 years later, we'll see what happens. But fucking to say off and on, and fucking, yeah, I can't help you.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely. Let's fucking hit that. Take a job, everybody. There you go. One thing I always ask every guest when it's their first time on the show, Al, is there something that you did when you very first started, or something you did or said that you can't believe that you did or said?
On stage?
Yeah. Or you know.
I mean,
just
I
the
have
mentality.
plenty of stuff that, you know, when you're starting and you figure out, like, I'll never fault anybody a year or 2 years in for any of their material because you're figuring shit out. When I very first started my first set, I think I did an impression of the entire time of a guy that I went to high school with, and it was horrible. And then I went and I wrote a joke the next time that I kept for a year and a half. Like, I don't know, I'll never fault anybody. There's a lot of learning that goes on, and, you know, this is all by experience. So, yeah, I did some very questionable...
Do you remember anything that you said specifically that you can't believe it came out of your mouth in the very beginning?
Oh, joke-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
This stuff that you're saying that you won't fault anybody for saying, like, what would
I
somebody...
did an homage. A lot of people... I can remember the bit off the top of my head. A lot of people ask me who my favorite comedian is, who I look up to. And the answer to that question, ladies and gentlemen, is Jerry Jewell. If you don't know who Jerry Jewell is, she's a female comedian with cerebral palsy. She was on the show Facts of Life. She played Blair's cousin Jerry. Nobody? Anybody remember? So I would do a fucking huge long... We were just talking about this downstairs. I would do this big homage to Jerry Jewell. Now, in case you don't remember, let me do one of her lines from the show. This is actually one of Blair's lines. I mean, Blair's cousin Jerry's line from the show Facts of Life. Here you go. But yeah, I like boys too. And I would do, and that's one of her lines from the show. And a lot of people don't remember her as a stand-up comic, but she was a great comic. And then I started doing her material. And after she would do bits, I would just scream off to the right-hand side. So, what's the difference between an elephant and a rhino? If I know. And I would just do that all the time. That's amazing! And then she gets super dirty and weird, and a lot of people don't know this, but she was really a blue, kind of like when I would see, I'd work with David Cross, and all these people would, and the wait staff just fucking loved it. So the bartenders at the San Francisco Punchline were like, dude, please do fucking Jerry Jewell. And I did it for like 2.5 years. Oh, wow. This is hilarious. And a woman choked me at Little Cobb's when I got off stage, and I was like, it went incredibly well. And then this woman comes up to me, I'm like, in front of my good friend, and they're standing in the back, and I was like, oh, this lady's gonna give, you know, props for a good set. Started choking the shit out of me. I got 4 comics had to pull her off. But yeah, I did that. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, and you know, just, I don't fault anybody for choices, but to not, like, the thing is, I really wanted to get better. And I worked with a lot of people that... I went to the Cobb's and the San Francisco Punchline every single night. I walked to each club. I lived in between, and I walked there every single night. And I sat and I saw every fucking headliner that walked in that place. And I looked and saw exactly what they did well, and then I knew to really try, and I really wanted it. So I was just like... I don't know. Effort-wise...
Well, some people just have difficulty committing to anything in life. They just have difficulty following through. And I think stand-up is one of those things you kind of have to be obsessed with it. And if you're not obsessed with it, you're just not going to put the proper amount of time. And I've had times in my life when I wasn't obsessed with it, and I fucked off, and it didn't go well. You know, it's one of those things you have to be on it now. It's just too complex and weird.
Do you remember me asking you at the Ice House the other episode that you did if there was something that you can't believe you said or did in the very beginning?
I don't know. What did I say?
I don't remember.
Weed!
Do you remember any?
Doesn't help.
Is there something that you can't believe you said or did in the very beginning that stands out?
I had some awful shit about Corky from Life Goes On.
Wow, look at you guys both going to your sitcoms in the beginning.
Terrible. Evil bit. It was such an evil bit. Because Corky from Life Goes On was a guy who had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And he was on a television show. And the idea was like, it's a kind of a fucked up, dirty trick. Because they're making you watch this show because you feel bad about the kid. Like, you know, I did a thing about which actually kind of happened. And my girlfriend was like, let's just watch the end of the show. He's got Down syndrome. Like, she wanted to watch. She goes, I think it's so sweet that they gave him a show. And I sit there and watch the show. I go, but he doesn't know that. I go, he thinks he's a fucking star. That's part of having Down syndrome. You don't know what the fuck is going on. And he's in a limo with his posse, all the retarded kids, they all got bibs on, they're drinking champagne, getting blowjobs. This fucked up bit. And they was like, life all downhill from here, right, Corky? Smooth sailing, boys. I'm a triple threat, right, direct, produce, stop it! And it was this horrible, horrible bit about how they fired him from the show. The show got canceled, but his agent says, but listen, Corky, I got this new gig for you. It's an independent film. It's a hidden camera movie about a guy who works in McDonald's. And there's no script. I just want you to be real. And you know me, it's never about the money, Bob. And it was fucking horrible.
Oh my God, I love it. That's amazing.
This is like my best bit when I was an open micer. When I was an open mic, and fucking every buddy I've worked with, every single host, it was because they were professional hosts. They go, drop that bit. Drop that bit. But it would kill. It was the only thing that I would do.
Even the bits that you guys are embarrassed that you did in the beginning of your careers are hilarious. So yeah, thanks for those stories, both of you. This is actually a really funny. Funny rising guy. I've seen this guy before. It's the first time somebody's been pulled who I've seen before. Funny guy. Put your hands together for Brett Banta.
Hi, my name is Brett Banta with a 1T. I just went back to Austin to visit my family for the holidays. We had a big dinner, and Christmas dinner. I always like sitting at the smaller table with the convicts and the kids, and my Aunt Joanna, because she has Alzheimer's, she sits there, they put her there. But she's always saying interesting stuff to me, like, Brett, what grade are you in now? Like, I'd be in the 32nd grade now. Anyway, she's always, you have to be on the ball really to talk with her, and she will, whenever I talk to her, she'll just, I can't really remember most of the story, but yeah.
I see what you did there. Yeah, you committed to the Alzheimer's thing. That's her thing. You went for it. Interesting. Brett, how's it going?
Oh, it's good.
It's got one of the best natural deliveries out of anybody's ever met.
I messed up the joke. I panicked a little bit on one tag.
Well, the good thing about messing up on a joke where you're doing an impression of an Alzheimer's patient is that no one can really tell exactly when you messed up. So, pretty perfect.
I want to do it. I remember the Alamo thing. I want to say her Alzheimer's is really progressing. She's the only person in Texas that can't remember the Alamo, but I fucked up.
That's topical. Brett, how long have you been doing stand-up?
2 years. 2 years.
Very cool. You go up a lot, right?
I have, but the past couple of months I went back to Texas, and I went up to some mics, but I need to get back to more of them. So I'm trying to go up, and I've been shooting shorts with my friends, so just trying to write and do stuff like that. And,
How old of a guy are you?
42. So I started really late.
Yeah.
So when I heard you earlier, I was like, oh.
Robert Schimmel didn't start till he was either 34 or 36.
Who?
Robert Schimmel.
Oh, wow.
Al started at 38. 28.
28? Oh. Wow.
How old are you?
What the fuck? Yeah, Al, the number one ranked comedian that's been doing it for 3 years.
Just know, you don't have to be a certain age.
No. It just gets a little tougher on you. Like I think responsibility-wise,
Yeah, you guys spoke about that on a podcast that I listened to, and I was kind of depressed, but then I just try and divide my time as quickly as I could,
It never ends, by the way. I started at 22, and when I found out that Chappelle and Eddie Murphy had started at 14 or 15, I'm like, that's it. I mean, how can you, there's definitely something. Those guys have a thing where, there's a lot of guys like that. When they started before college, like that pre-14, 15, 16, there's sort of a major difference in their gleam, Like there's something to Chappelle where you could sort of tell that.
I think he would have been fine if he started when he was 30. It's just his mind. There's people that start at 14 that still suck. I don't think it's related at all. But I don't think anybody should disappoint you or discourage you, rather. It doesn't matter. You're alive.
Yeah.
If you're alive, what do you want to do? Do you want to work at this job and that job? Or do you want to be a comic? Well, you can do it. It's totally possible. There's no, glass ceiling. In fact, it's one of the few jobs that doesn't have a fucking boss.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one that's going to hire you or fire you based on whether or not you're old.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just be funny.
I just left a job interview early today to make it here, just to get. I enjoy writing, and I write every day. I'm like OCD on always writing jokes or trying to come up with stuff, but I just need to get up more.
That would grade you in jokes. That made me laugh. That was really funny.
Yeah,
it's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
you can do it. You don't let anybody discourage you just because you're 42.
No, I try and, I don't.
It's all bullshit. You're alive. You live, you die. It's not like they're hiring 20-year-old chicks in bikinis. You know what I mean? Like you have a shelf life. You can only be a 20-year-old chick in bikini. You can only lie about that for so long.
Okay.
Right?
Just a related note, though. I am hiring 20-year-olds.
Hey, and you can tell also what I love is you are sincerely, this is you. That's another thing,
still nervous, yeah.
Yeah.
No, part of being sober is just, you gotta get up. And, I get my order right at Subway now that I've been sober, but I can talk to people, but I still get nervous every time.
Well, we didn't know you were sober until you just brought that up. We didn't even know that you had a problem.
Normally, it's when people are.
Isn't that funny that you just say, now that I'm sober, and everybody goes, oh. This motherfucker is in the door.
Yeah.
What else you got in there? I see cobwebs, some fucking bats flying around.
The image in your head goes from him in a business suit to him sucking dick behind a dumpster.
I never saw the business suit.
What's the craziest thing that you did when you weren't sober?
When I was in Austin, we'd throw rocks at cars and be in camouflage.
What kind of drugs make you throw rocks at cars?
I never did any drugs. I would drink beer.
Whoa.
When I had surgery on my leg, I
started drinking?
Yeah, I started smoking pot. A surgeon was like, off the record, Mr. Banna, marijuana can help you with nerve damage. And so I guess I'm sober light. I'm kind of Nickelodeon sober. I smoked pot to kind of help with the injury I had, which really did help me sleep. I guess it's the alcohol. Sorry, I'm boring you guys.
So when you drink alcohol, did you get violent? You're one of those guys?
I was my brother that's really big, and he would kind of keep me in check. He got all the good genes, but I don't communicate well, and I would never be funny, and it's.
Do you remember throwing those rocks, or did people have to tell you about it the next day?
No, I would remember doing that. I threw up on my mom's bed when I was 17 years old, and I remember that, and that was a turning point.
When did you quit drinking?
21?
Like what?
No, with having daughters also, I have to be a good dad, so that's a big thing, and I think not getting sober helped me do. I've always wanted to do stand-up. I've been very insecure to get up in front of people, and I love writing, and I just trying to.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to keep your.
And wife is super supportive of all this.
Yeah, that's another huge issue. Is right now at my age, trying to figure out how to balance time. But I read to my kids, and then I go to the late night mics or wherever I can. And
does your beautiful Asian wife drink?
She does not. She can't. She has she gets like a red and.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop my wife. She's fucking really going for it.
Right, what was the job interview for?
I went to NBC to do some design stuff. So it's really just freelance. I'm kind of scraping by doing freelance, and I've just been doing that and trying to get enough to pay the bills.
Fuck yeah, Brett. You have the personality of a fucking stool, but I love your style.
Yeah, but I just did 2 shorts with my friend Jeff Rowan.
Oh, Jesus.
Unless
those shorts are 4 seconds, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit. No, I'm
This
kidding.
is a mean show.
I hosted, Joe. I'm sort of a bad guy. Brett, where can they find that? The actual just part without all the promo ahead of it?
On Funny or Die homepage.
Now, this would be the most important time to talk into the microphone. It's terrible advertising, Brett. Oh, they can find it at
Funny or Die.
On the homepage. So
And what do they search on Funny or Die?
Banta Shorts, Foxhole.
Banta Shorts.
Yeah.
Foxhole.
It's a Vietnam with a lot of Asian women in it. So
They
thank
better
you
be
very much.
funny or the Death Squatters are going to leave terrible comments.
One of the shorts was absolutely terrible, but one they put on the homepage, so I'm excited. So thank you guys very much for your
Thank
time.
you. Brett Banta. There you go. Welcome back to I think we all need a beer after seeing that.
I thought that was positive. I think that there's been some negative things to say, and they were said. No,
Oh, yeah.
the first couple guys. I mean, fucking the Hawaiian shirt was really bad. And they fucking said it.
The next comedian goes by the name of Kip Hart.
So I recently failed a pregnancy test. I was in line at the grocery store, and I asked the lady in line behind me when she was due. So from now on, so it's not awkward, I'm just going to rub all ladies' bellies. Problem solved. I told a friend of mine that story, and he said, perhaps I should have suggested a lap dance to the lady. But I didn't see how a group of tiny musicians would be of any help. I was waiting downstairs to come up, and I got a text from my wife. It said, "I'm leaving you." Then I got another one right after that that said, "Sorry, that wasn't meant for you."
There you go. Kip Hart.
That was very good. The pregnancy test joke is a great idea. It came off a little odd, but that's a great idea.
No, thank you very much.
And the last joke was hilarious. It's very fun.
Thank you.
Perfect execution. Kip, how long have you been doing it?
About 6 years, committed.
Where at?
I'm an Orange County guy, so a lot of Orange County stuff, and then as often as I can, truck up here. And I in between times, I work at Disneyland, so I get kind of work at the Jungle Cruise there. So we get a little bit of action there.
The last one about the text, that's a really good joke.
Thank you.
It's a really good joke. Very funny.
Thank you.
I laughed a lot at the lap band. I get Tony on that.
That pregnancy test, I mean, that really does happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What did you do before stand-up? It's just Disney?
No, that's just like a part-time job, and I have a day job that I do.
So you almost, you're the guy, you actually do the tour,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
you're on a mic nonstop.
Yeah, it's literally in an 8-hour shift. You're doing 40 sets.
What are some of the bits?
Oh, it's all
You kill on
I'm
those
still
things?
there. Yeah, I do actually. I have to keep it mellow. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's.
Kind of like, you know how Brody Stevens does warm-up for
Yeah.
shows?
Yeah.
So you get used to doing a lot of
Oh,
performing.
for sure. You get a different
loose.
audience every 8 minutes. So it's. Sometimes it gets a little weird.
Do you ever get heckled on those things?
Yeah, I used to. When I first started, it's scripted, so a lot of the guests knew the punchlines. So they would start stealing the punchlines, and so I got a little frustrated. That's when I started writing my own stuff.
Wow. That's hilarious.
It was great because, I kind of throw them off because then they weren't expecting it. And then I've submitted a lot of that material and they've accepted it into the official script. Of course, I have no attachment to it.
Is there a supervisor for that? That's like, I like the new stuff.
No, that's one of the sayings we have is what
what happens in the jungle stays in the jungle. So when you get the doc, it's pretty mellow.
Really great writing over there in the jungle, huh? Stole that from Vegas straight up.
Yeah, it used to be pretty rogue. It's not quite as rogue as it used to be.
Has to be rogue as fuck. Can you hold the microphone by the actual microphone instead of the wire? Perfect.
Yeah. How's that?
Have you had anyone, people are review crazy, have you had anyone complain or like
Never gets complained.
When you wrote the new stuff into the script, did they give you credit for that? Did they pay you for that?
No, you sign off on a big long legal paper that says so other people can use your shit. They can, but they don't because it's because it's my stuff and they don't know how to.
Can you give us just one example of one of the things that you put in the book?
Sure. How about
what's happening right
over
now?
here? So we're cruising along.
That's the most important part right there.
Hey, it's a jungle cruise, so it's in the name, right? Right over here on the right, that is the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. The reason they call it the Temple of the Forbidden Eye is because Temple of the Forbidden Me is terrible grammar.
I want to take your cruise, man.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm going to go, I think it's my daughter's birthday, and we're going to be there on like February 14th. I'm coming. I'm there in the next couple
come
of
to the
weeks.
exit, ask for Kip. I'm there most of the time.
Kip.
Yeah, Kip.
Good job, dude.
Are you the only Kip on the jungle cruise?
Insider.
You got
all
any?
of us in the Jungle Cruise.
You got any Disney secrets to give us that we might not know, or?
Absolutely not. I'm still there, so I can keep the job.
No, I mean like if you. I heard that the people cleaning, like they were walking around with the brooms and stuff. I heard like, if you asked them for a button, they carry buttons in their pockets.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. They do have some swag, I guess.
Yeah.
What they call it. Yeah.
And those buttons are collectible and they're free. So if you go to Disney, find a trash person and follow them around like a free.
Wow, there you go.
Well, I'll tell you this: at the Jungle Cruise, we have maps that we give away. So if you come to the exit, hey, you got any of those free maps? It's like a secret society thing. So that's one.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, I got to go to Club 33. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Heard of it, never done it.
And
Did you use this one of these passes?
yeah. So in the Louisiana Bayou Cajun country, there's a door with 33 on it, so you can knock on that door, you get let in, and then you go upstairs, and at 11:30, me and my wife had 3 Bloody Marys each, and that's the only place you can drink, and had one of the best times in Disneyland you can imagine. Like, so then there's the balcony.
Well, tell them the whole thing. It's subscription. You have to pay.
You have to pay.
An exorbitant amount of money. It's like $25,000 a year or something.
And to be selected to be in that club is a very big thing because a lot of people apply. They barely take anybody on. It's where Walt Disney used to go watch over the park. And so they actually have a buffet up there. They have a full bar. We had filet mignon, for lunch. It was crazy. And then got to stand and watch. People don't even know you're up there. Also, you can look up and sort of see this balcony as you're going through. It's right where Pirates of the Caribbean is. And so you pay attention to it. But it's impossible to get into. And we were lucky enough to be a guest of somebody. And I know that exists. But people get all kinds. People got busted recently for having disabled people take them on tours. That was
that was a big deal for a while. They've kind of fixed that.
Okay. Because you could rent a handicapped person.
Yeah, sure. There was people that had disabilities. They had a pass, and prior to I don't know a year ago, it was kind of like a front of the line thing where you could like shortcut the lines, and you could hire these people that have the pass.
I smell a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Aiden?
Yeah.
Just end it with that. It'll crush.
There was me.
Kip.
So you can't do that. See, what, a year and a half
Just
in.
did.
I know.
Kip, are you married?
I am. Yeah.
How long have you been married for?
31 years.
You have kids?
I do have 3 kids.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into stand-up?
Well, I've been married for 31 years.
Wow.
It's funny. I got started. A friend of mine that used to work at the Jungle Cruise was doing comedy, and he quit. And he thought it'd be fun to have skippers, Jungle Cruise skippers, do comedy because he got kind of a leg up, kind of a head start on it. So he put together a show called Skipper Stand Up, and he asked me to do it, and I said,
I never even thought about doing comedy before, other than you just jungle. It was kind of a job, and it was fun. But so I wrote 8 minutes, and it was pretty successful, and I kind of got the bug, and then so I did the Skipper shows for it was only like 1 or 2, 3 shows a year, and every time I do a little more new material, and it worked every time. So I got kind of hooked on it, and then I stepped out and I went to Dave McNary's.
Does this story have an end at all? Or no. I mean, that's how people start.
Yeah, that's how we do at the Jungle Cruise. We just go and tell you, all right, get out.
I love your style, Kip.
You should have left on the claps, dude.
Yeah.
You're fucking killing.
Yeah, Kip hard, everybody. There he goes. Kip hard. Kip hard was age 10 years and 5 seconds. Kip_hard on Twitter, and Brett Bant is Brett J. Bant on Twitter. So, there you go. Those guys. Patriot, how you doing over there?
Good, man. Just a little sore.
What are you sore from?
The suit.
Oh.
It's like really tight. It's like squeezing me on both sides.
Stop getting boners.
Crazy enough that I checked in with you because I just pulled an Asian out of the bucket. This guy's been on a few times and he's great. Put your hands together. Yes. How'd you know that? Really? Wow. Put your hands together for Fang Chow, everybody.
How you guys doing tonight? Are we good? I woke up this morning looking like this, and I speak broken English. So get ready. The Patriot don't like Asian. Sure, of course. Right in your face. I hope you pick Pam Fam too. But nevertheless, I still love fried chicken. When I was growing up, my mom was Chinese. She still is Chinese. She sat me down, she said, dude, you have to be good at math, otherwise you're not Chinese anymore. And I thought about it. What is that gonna do to me in the future? I can't just go up to a chick and say, hey, I'm really good at math. You want to go out with me? Think about it. I know all the answers.
Yeah. Thanks out, just checking out the stereotypes for that one. I thought you were going somewhere with that chicken thing. You weren't, huh?
Well, I am kind of racist. Since Patriot said that,
this is fine. This is a safe haven for conversations like this. So you're a little bit racist against blacks, and Jaron has admitted earlier that he's racist against Asians.
It's on.
So what do you guys have to say to each other?
I don't know. I didn't know the Yakuza had a comedy benefit going on.
Oh.
Did your mic stop working or something?
I was born with karate chop skills, so watch out, black dude.
Sing the karaoke.
Next time you eat the General Tao chicken, better watch out.
Oh, I can tell you guys just ran out of stuff. So there you go.
Perfect. Great line.
Bang. How long have you been doing comedy?
Now, 2 years.
You got to take your drink off the new subwoofer.
Oh, it's already
Sorry. Oh, it's sealed.
2 years.
2 years. And some of that was in China?
No. I started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wow.
About a year. And I decided to move out here because this is the league, right? So here I am.
This is the league? Is that what they say in Milwaukee about LA?
Maybe.
Well, what did you do before stand-up?
I've been translating between Chinese and English.
Whoa. What a fucking mess.
At least it's not Hispanic.
Well, you're racist against them too, huh?
I just want to offend everybody, okay, guys?
Wow. What's your least favorite race? I mean, since we're talking about it, let's go for it all the way. The Jews? Where are we going with this thing? How creepy can you make it?
I really don't. Now, 2015, I hate the Malaysians. Somebody watch the news over there? Because they lost 2 fucking planes last year. They were right off. whatever. But I think for Malaysians, if you don't know, I think for Malaysia, they should build more public bathrooms before they fly a fucking plane. Just me.
Fuck yeah. Save that one for next week. Jerron, how do you feel about this?
I think he should be banned from the show just by all
Jeez, that's just not even a joke.
Do you really just sincerely do not care for this man? His bit? Or?
Yeah, man, this is true beef right here.
It's on.
Which is, true beef is actually Fang's cousin's name.
And with that said,
yeah, Fang, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna get another guy up here. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night,
Bye.
guys.
Can I pull one?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. A lot of names.
do you really not like that dude, or are you just fucking around?
No, I love pain, man.
Oh, okay. That's what there we go.
Yeah, look at that. You wanna read it?
Most people are like, wow,
I hope
some
so.
shit.
I just pulled Alice Borsian.
Shit. Oh no.
You know what that means?
You missed your spot. Unfortunately, you get blacklisted.
Can we not? I'm still trying to get at her. She's way over here.
What?
Can we not ban her?
Just make the noise and move. Come on.
What are you?
Did she
what
go
are
to
you,
the bathroom or
what are you
something?
saying?
That's my question.
That's fine. If she's going to the bathroom, we'll
Just make
her
a
up in a
noise.
second. You think she's
Yeah,
taking a
that's
shit, or is she peeing? What are we talking about here?
Is she snapping one off,
You guys are
or?
gonna take dinner, and you guys.
Well, why don't we pick the next one, and she'll be right after that? Does that make sense?
See, if
Uh,
it's a real comedy show, that's what it's supposed to teach you.
Sure.
If it's a real comedy show, they wouldn't
Yeah,
just go to the bathroom.
but at the same time, it's a weird show where
It's
you
a
might
chick.
have to go to the bathroom. That's different.
She's hot, right?
She must be taking a shit. It's gonna be weird no matter
Or is this a white girl?
what.
black
Alice
girl?
Borsian.
No. Here, just pick somebody else. Then we'll bring her up.
Here, you want to pick another one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Kyle McFadden.
Already started. By definition, I don't have a girlfriend. It's my fault. I have to get over my fear of the opposite sex if I want to have opposite sex. It's one of those things where it's like I know what I look like, and I know that doesn't help at all. Like my beard looks like the beard that like you get third graders in plays that hook over the ears, you know, start falling off the kid's face. It's not really what my beard looks like is a redheaded girl that got in a long-term relationship and then just gave up. And it's like I dress this way, like I came out looking like this. Like I have the fashion sense of a school shooter, is what I'm trying to...
Okay. Fuck yeah. You approaches it this worse than yourself, I see. How's it going, Kyle?
Good, how are you?
You were definitely a weird looking dude. You were right. I couldn't really see the whole time when you were talking about this is what you look like. But now that I see, I can tell why that's all that you talk about.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever told you that you look like a young version of the dad from Teen Wolf?
Yeah. I didn't really stop talking to say that.
He just died, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, on an episode this depressing, I wouldn't be surprised that he did die. Kyle, what's your story, man? What do you do with a face like that?
Comedy.
Yeah. How long you been doing it?
3.5 years.
Where at?
Bay Area, just moved down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's where else from.
Yeah.
San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco.
Oh, great. And how long were you up there?
The 3.5 years. I just moved here like a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Punchline, were you up there?
I wasn't a regular, but I did do the punchline in college a few times. Mostly like Rooster Teeth Feathers and Pleasant and
But
Tom and
much
Jason.
easier also, I mean, so what prompted you to move down there? Because I feel like, that's another thing. LA is a difficult place to start. Where I met, and you have all these we were talking about the league, but to continue the baseball analogy, I think he was talking about like you have, you know, New York and L.A., but to start in Austin or San Francisco and Boston and to sort of, you know, get more time and stand out and then come down here, because it's much more difficult, as you can see, to start in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So what was the question?
Why did you leave?
Because I was happy. I was until tonight happy with where I was at.
Don't get mad. You can't be judged. I said that.
Dude, I thought you had one of the best stage presences ever. I loved your tempo. I liked how like you were really. You didn't seem nervous at all, and I really wanted to hear more of you. So I thought you did great on it.
Thank you very much. I was trying to make it.
When you're not talking about what you look like, what do you talk about?
Not drinking, and
you're a sober one too, huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
I drank one time after high school, and my like ears got really hot, and I just decided it wasn't. that was it, and then like
you and the two guys that have said they're sober, I'm like, geez, what went wrong? They're like, I didn't feel so good one night. Had to go, you know.
I'm pretty sure that's a joke.
Right. No, but that it's in my act, but it is 100% true. I drank the one time, and I drank a shitload, and I didn't feel drunk at all, and it kind of scared me. Like I felt like I could have driven or something. You know what I mean? And that kind of.
Like, how much did you drink? Are we talking like 2 Coors Lights? What's going on here?
No, like my friend did it to me. He was trying to get me fucked up, and he passed out, and I didn't feel it. It was you know what a Faderade is? Like half vodka, half Gatorade. Those bottles.
Yeah.
2 of those and 3 Coronas and a shot of gin. Okay. And I didn't feel different. I'm Irish, Russian, and German, like the 3 drinking.
It's like German.
So this is like preventive measures. You're like, I might
so,
become
yeah.
a fucking mess or something.
It's all like I can't control my ice cream intake. You know what I mean? Like, I think the alcohol.
How old are you?
26.
And how old were you when you stopped drinking?
I only drank one time when I was 18.
What the fuck?
You should try it. Yeah, just try it. Just
You've
to
been
go
sober
for it.
since you were 18?
Yeah.
I've
never had a legal drink.
You only drank that one time?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was with my black friend.
Oh wow, Jerron, I didn't know you hung out with Ty. Can't believe you passed out first that night.
Yeah, things are good then, right?
Yeah, they're great. I'm loving it. It's awesome down here.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, about a week and a half.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What part of LA are you living in?
Koreatown.
Oh, shit.
Sweet. Perfect.
Yeah. That's a good landing spot.
Nice.
All you can eat.
You're making strong choices just right out of the gate.
Guessing you're on the same bus as Fang Chow on the way here?
I couldn't tell which one it was.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I was just a comic in San Francisco. Did a lot of corporate stuff, and I helped run a comedy club, and we made a little bit of money from that. And then now I'm just burning through money here until I can. I saved up enough for like 6 months to just go every day and try and see what happens.
Perfect.
Try camming. I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. The porn stuff. Yeah.
Kyle.
Yes.
What else? What scares you?
This.
100%.
Okay. Well, then I'll let you go. Kyle McFadden, everybody. Very nice. Who's going to play Kyle McFadden? Good job, man. Guess who loves using the restroom, everybody? Put your hands together for Alice Borsian.
Hello. I'm here to kill the Tony. Just kidding. That's a bad joke. It's not even a joke. Where is he? But no, here's the thing. I suck at dating. It's LA. I'm not professional. I'm not. But I just discovered this new dating app. It's not like Tinder or Grindr or like Match.com. It's Uber. And it's great because it kind of works like Tinder. You know, you see their profile picture. They have a job. I could see their ratings. I said their picture. And The truth is, I'm in fucking control, you know? Because they don't know we're on a date. They don't. And honestly, personally, I think it's the modern day speed dating. That red light's tripping me out. I do think it's a red light. Whoa.
There you go. All right. The red neon light in the back of the room trips you out?
That's usually the light. You're done.
Talking to the microphone.
You know, there's red lights all around this room, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
And you were in this room last night.
Whoa, how do you know
There's
that? Let everybody else in on your secrets, Brian.
You weren't supposed to say anything. Okay, I didn't finish it. Whatever, it's horrible. Go ahead.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
On and off for 5 months. No, 5 months. I just wanted to say that. 5 months.
Wow.
In one day.
Okay. The thing in the beginning where you did the accent, do you always open up with like an accent and say something about the room and then just go straight into dating material? Is that what you always do for the 5 months, just out of curiosity?
Are you also an actress? Do you do acting?
You have to respond. This is a live show and a podcast, so you can't. Nobody's going to hand you a script right now.
I don't always do that. It's always awkward.
That's what I asked you. It shouldn't be an A and a B. You should have answered that when I asked you the question.
I'm working on talking. I don't know how to speak. The truth is, I don't always open that way, but I felt like I needed to warm you guys up, not lie. And that usually warms people up. It didn't. I do act, but obviously I'm bad at it.
No, I mean, again, you did get a little bit of a heads up. Unlike anybody else, you know, your friend was able to warn you and said, "Hey, you're fucking next." And I'm sure you heard from people that you were able to. So you had some time to think about it. And you know, I was excited that when I pulled to Alice, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a girl.
Yeah, no, I was excited. You know, it's a lot of, we had all guys, and you know, I see some female comics here, and so I was, I was excited about that. As well as just the diversity aspect. No, and I think that 5 months is just really tough. But again, what I said in the beginning is you really have to be yourself, and I think that helps. And you can see Kip was being himself,
right.
And you could see that. What was the other guy?
Thank Chow.
Brent
Bantha. Yeah, being yourself is very important. That's exactly what my
get through a lot,
point.
You know, just and then you can fuck around and experiment with other shit after that. But you might want to start with
me,
just you,
yeah,
because you can tell you're funny. You know what I mean, and you got the inkling to do this, which again you don't want to take away from anybody. Go for it, fucking everybody. You know, I said that people off and on. Like, really get out there and do it as much as you possibly can. But consider starting to be yourself, and then that'll really help you out.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Can I ask a
Sure.
question? That's my toughest thing, is I never know how to open.
Yeah, it's one of the tougher parts of it.
Okay.
Opening and closing.
So the toughest part's always open.
Yeah, getting people to like you in the first few seconds is really hard.
Have you done well on stage before? Do you have like really good sets?
I have good sets, not at mics, but like.
How does that experience rank? Like what you just did, like all time?
When that happens?
No, like right now, what you just did. Like, is that like one of your worst sets ever? Is it like pretty good?
It's not the worst. It's not good.
So it's like.
That was bad.
You're not happy with it, but it's not the worst one.
Like you guys were saying earlier, it's all a learning experience.
Right.
That wasn't what I wanted, but I'm okay with it.
Well, it seems like you're very overwhelmed. Like you seem like you're having.
Oh no, I just
calm.
I have a hard time being calm all the time. Like I have anxiety. Like it's not even funny.
Neither was the 60 seconds that you talked earlier. But it sounds like it could be funnier since you can actually talk about that and relate to it, but that's stuff that's happening in real life.
The laugh that you got just really being
Well, you got that laugh because of exactly what he was saying. You became yourself.
Right.
So, like, the pressure was off to do material, and now you could be why probably a lot of people told you should do stand-up in the first place. You can be funny because you can be yourself. Like, your whole demeanor has changed now. If you watch this tape and watch how you were when you first got on stage and right now, Now you're relaxed and you're smiling. It's an earnest smile. You don't feel any pressure. When you're first up there, there's this tension that everybody else feels, and that's like one of the hardest things to get over. Is people are there, they fucking feed off of what you put out, and if you put out this crazy nervous energy, they're like, fuck. Like, even if they're pulling for you, they're like, keep it together. It's like you feel with that person. That's why it's when it works so well. Because if you're laughing and you're having fun, everybody else has fun as well. And the more connected you are to what you're saying, the more you're going to project that. So like right now, you're totally connected to like what like when you were talking about being nervous and that stuff. Like you gotta laugh. It's because you were totally connected to what you were talking about.
And that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, so you proved right here that you can do it.
Yeah.
Just in that one brief moment. So you have like an ember. Now you have to throw some shit on it, you have to stack logs, and you make a fucking fire.
And with the opening part...
If you don't have that ember, you can never be a comic. Ever.
And with that opening part that you said is so hard to open with, you're just telling them the truth about how anxious of a person you are, and that could easily be an opener, and something that people can relate to and connect with.
Yeah, you can talk about how freaked out you are to do stand-up.
Right. Alice Borsian, that was it. Every week since this show started, we have 2 female comedians who have done a new minute every single week on this show. This is the part of that show.
Oh, great.
Awesome. Going up first tonight, doing a brand new minute once again. She was with us and she dropped out of the University of Florida a year and a half ago. Put your hands together for Kim Congdon, everybody.
I had a first-time experience the other day I want to talk about. Something new I did. I had phone sex the other day. Thank you. Yeah, it was really exciting. It was good. Hurt a little. I think next time I might take the cover off. I'm going to keep doing it, for sure. I just don't know how many times I can ask my roommate to call my phone because I left it on vibrating. You know what they say, an apple a day makes you a fucking weirdo for having sex with your phone all the time. I know. It's not really funny, especially because I don't have a phone anymore because it's back home in a bowl of rice. That's it.
Yeah, 53 seconds. Another one.
Yeah.
This one's about having sex with your phone.
I tried really hard this week to do that thing where you said to make it one joke and talk about the same thing.
Yeah, and look how it works out. You know, it gets, the more you talk about it, like if that was longer than a minute, I mean, that's a very specific story that you're talking about there, but, you know, it started gaining more momentum as it went on, for sure.
Right.
So, if you stay in that realm, I'm sure there's more funny stuff that found more before or after, and that stuff moves around. Kim Congdon, guys, she does a new minute every single week
That's great.
on a live podcast. How crazy is that? So did you really try that?
I mean, like, I've had, like, regular phone sex. I've never stuck my phone in my vagina.
You had regular phone sex? Oh, yeah, I guess people do that.
For sure.
Have you done the Skype or the FaceTime sex yet?
Yeah, for sure.
Really? You don't think he screen captured that? He did.
Holy shit. I'm guessing, alright, fuck it. Kim, what's something crazy that happened this week? Anything in real life that's been going on?
I had a couple friends come down from Texas. I don't really want to talk about what happened on Friday. I mean, we went out and, like, we partied a lot. More partying than I'm used to. You
This
know?
sounds like some kind of Pulp Fiction overdose story.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Wow. All right.
Now, why Kim?
What?
Why did she get to do this? How did you decide that you were going to
It just so happened.
She's hot.
Yeah, she was here, and no, she was here, and she was around when we figured that part of everything out, that, you know, it'd be worth investing into someone so that the listeners can watch them grow. And over a year and a half, people have watched her go from, you know, somebody who was brand spanking new, her first time on stage, to, you know, she's been doing cool things recently, like opening up for Sebastian.
It's really
things like that.
motivating you to write as well.
Oh, yeah, I write so much now.
Great.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. At least a minute.
No, you're lucky.
Yeah.
have a little flyer lit under your
Oh,
house.
yeah, it's made a difference in my stand-up for sure.
Cool.
I don't think I'd be half as good as I am now without all the writing.
I love it. Do you have any questions for our guests or anything?
Yeah, you know.
If you don't, it's okay.
Do you guys ever need anybody to open for you?
I see what you did. Very good. The ladies love that. Look at all the girls in the crowd. Like, you get it, girl. You get it. I love it. I watched all their hands go together, including our own Elise Lane over there.
It's super ballsy. I mean, I said it last time I was on your show, but you guys are super ballsy, both of you. I can't. That's a lot. It's hard to do. A minute every week that was funny. Funny stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did it again. It all goes to the big package. Kimberly Congdon, everybody.
I was remembering that big Russian accent that I had to remember this. When I first got to LA, I met Sam Tripoli just immediately. And we became instant buddies. And then somebody asked us that owned a comedy theater to teach a comedy class. So we did it one time. We went in there and there was these students, and there was this one Russian guy who was really funny. But then everyone got mad at the comedy class because we told them they had to be in like a 7 to 15 year plan. And this is not something you can just fucking dip your toe in. Like, we were just being, trying to be honest. And then the other thing that we did was recommend 2 books that I will recommend if these haven't been mentioned before. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and then Comic Insights by Franklin Ajayi that he taught at UCLA are great books if you are starting. So I will recommend.
Indeed, and on top of that, I'll also recommend On Writing from Stephen King. You ever read that?
Yes.
Yeah. Mostly, even though he's sort of just talking about writing novels, even though he's not too specific about it, but just about his work ethic, about all the work
One
that he puts
cigarette,
into it.
Marvel Red, after he finishes every single novel.
I love that.
Cool. Who's next?
Your final comedian of the night. Put your hands together for Sarah Weinshank, everybody.
What's up? This week's been interesting. I was upset. I made scrambled eggs. I forgot the milk in my scrambled eggs, which that really sucks because they were already fucking scrambled. You can't add milk once they're scrambled. So I tweeted about it, and someone suggested that I use powdered milk. I'm unclear about how the two correlate, but I do know one thing. If you're fucking mixing your milk like concrete, then that's a problem. That's a major problem. I feel like powdered milk is something that they served in Oliver Twist's orphanage. Don't understand. Dairy products should not be powdered. It's fucked up. I googled powdered milk. I came across a blog called Hillbilly Housewife. This fine woman suggests always having at least 2 cans of powdered milk on hand.
Fuck yeah, I like where you're going. The powdered milk thing sounds like a Sarah Weinshank joke if I've ever heard one before, but I don't understand why you started with the whole scrambled egg story that's only specific to you.
Yeah. I don't know really
but about powdered milk, there's definitely something there. I like the concrete thing. I think there's definitely something in, like, you could be going through an airport and somebody being like, is this cocaine or something? And it's like, no man, it's milk. Like, how impossible that would be to possibly believe.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm just saying, like, one of my favorite comic of the night, and I'll tell you, did not based on the scrambled egg chunk.
Well, that was a weird moment.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I know what it is. Right?
I know what it is. It's the thing.
The greeting.
What's that?
She was probably the only person all night who went straight into having something to talk about.
Shit and the confidence level, like, I mean, just to go right into it and to, just, again, you sincerely being you, I don't know, of all the people we saw, like, I could see this really working out.
I think Al's in love! I smell it!
Oh, do you, no?
Yeah, she's funny. Well, I know her. She's very funny. She does. She's another one that does a new minute every week.
Yeah,
she's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, both you guys are badass. You know?
Did this powdered milk thing, did it actually happen, or did you just see it at a grocery? I get the feeling from from watching it, she's someone who takes little things and like talks about it, like corn holders and powdered milk, and like, I get the feeling that you do all your writing, like walking down a grocery store aisle or like stuff like that, you just see powdered milk.
Somebody tweeted to me and said to put powdered milk in my eggs that I already made. That's what I meant to say.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I would immediately block that person on Twitter.
Oh, you mean like after you cook them?
Right, and that's why I started with that, and I didn't really express that correctly.
You just go straight into powdered milk.
Yeah.
I've seen you come up here and just say the words, and everybody laughs because you obviously have an issue with it. You know what I mean? So, powdered milk.
It didn't make any sense to me because I scramble eggs all the time with no powdered milk.
Really?
Or
With
no milk at all. No milk.
Yeah, I didn't get that
either. Yeah, I think a lot of people do, right?
Thanks, guys.
I just put it in the microwave for like 30
Everyone's
seconds.
like, yeah, me too.
I think it's one of those things where people think that it's, you know, like some people do it, so they think that everybody does it.
You only put it in there to make it fluffy.
Yeah, I don't ever.
Fuck yeah. Somebody makes the lovely ladies breakfast in bed. Yo, baby, I made you some fluffy eggs. Sarah, you were great. Thank you so much. Sarah Weinstein was on Twitter. Sarah Weinstein, Twitter with Condoms and Twitter Comments. They are the ladies of Kill Tony. Thank you to both of them. Josh Martin is at Josh Martin Comment. Hi, Josh. Hi, Josh. You crushed it tonight. Jerron Horton is at Jerron Horton. Jerron, anything coming up you want to promote?
Comedy News next week.
Fuck yeah, this will be out in 2 weeks, so nobody's going to be there. Jerron Horton, thank you so much. Another great time. Joe Rogan and Madrigal, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for coming on. Anything coming up? Any needs that you want to promote or anything people should watch or look out for? Yeah, you guys look pretty set.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, the best. And then go check out, if you haven't, Kill Tony listeners, the Kill Tony crew was on the Joe Rogan Experience, so go check out that episode. Guys, thank you so much. Two of my favorites. Thanks for coming out. That's it. Live audience, thank you so much. We did it again. Episode 90 something of Kill Tony. Look up the Kill Tony 100. Die-hard Kill Tony fans in April in the main room. We are going to do Kill Tony 100 live from the main room. It's going to be insane. It's going to be our biggest show ever. So why not fly out where you are and come do that show? Thank you so much for the live audience. Good night.